Okay, so good morning again, everyone, and welcome to this Q&A clinic on XEVMPD service. I am Caterina Scarpati, and I'm covering the change management activities for XEVMPD and SPOR. And today here with me, I have Marcos Fernandez Gomez and Veronica Baker, BMA colleagues, expert in XEVMPD, who will answer live your questions. Okay. So before we start, some usual housekeeping rules. Please note, first of all, that this session is being recorded. The recording will be available both on EMA YouTube channel and on EMA corporate website on the event page for this Q&A clinic. In order to ask your questions, you can use the interaction tool Slido. The interaction via Slido is voluntary, and you may opt to remain anonymous. If you choose to use Slido, you consent to the processing of your personal data. And for more information on how we process your personal data when using Slido, please refer to the specific sections on Slido in the data protection notice. Okay, so as I was mentioning, you will be able to ask your questions via Slido. You can join Slido either by going to slido.com, entering the code XEVMPD 1811, or you can just scan the QR code that you see on the slide here. So as usual, when you go to Slido, you can send a new question, or you can upvote via thumbs up the questions that are already there and that you want to hear answered. I will share the questions on the screen, and we will answer questions in order of upvote. So the most upvoted questions will get an answer first. Concerning scope, this Q&A clinic is meant to answer your questions regarding the XEVMPD service only, while for questions that are related to the SPOR services, so to SMS, OMS, and RMS, or PMS, other live Q&A sessions are available. And here is a recap of the upcoming Q&A clinics according to different scopes. So the next clinic on SMS, OMS, and RMS services will take place on 15th of December. The next PMS Q&A clinic will take place on the 18th of December. The last one was held this morning. And the last XEVMPD clinic for this year will take place on the 18th of December 2025. But however, please know that since we saw that in general, these Q&A clinics were really useful to you, we are working on releasing new dates for 2026, and this will be available soon. Another event to note is the next quarterly SPOR and XEVMPD status update webinar, which will take place on the 28th of January in 2026. The registration is already open. You can register on the dedicated event page on the EMA website. So if you type SPOR and XEVMPD status update webinar 2026, you will find the event page, and you will be able to register via WebEx. But of course, please note that we are also working on releasing the full set of dates for the quarterly SPOR and XEVMPD status update webinars for the whole year of 2026. Then just a last reminder before we start that the SPOR and XEVMPD customer satisfaction survey is available on Slido. We launched it on the 8th of October during the last SPOR and XEVMPD status update webinar. So this is the first time this survey is available on Slido. We will conduct this survey every 6 months. And we will keep it open each time we launch it for 5 months. So you can provide your feedback on SPOR or XEVMPD whenever you want until the 8th of March. You can either scan this QR code or go to Slido, typing spores-survey, and in general, the link is always available on the SPORE webpage on EMA website. Okay, so it's time now to start with our questions. First of all, please do not ask. Oh, okay, so this is a disclaimer in general from our colleagues. So yes, please try not to ask questions that are already addressed in the FAQs or guidance documents. For example, just as a reminder, the XEVMPD decommissioning we don't have a date available yet. Okay, thank you. So I'm archiving this question. Then, how can we ensure that substance data is validated according to 32P1 and not to SMPC if both documents are appended?
I can take this one. So the validation team already knows that if the module 32P1 is attached to the EV code and the composition in the EV code is provided as in this document, they will use this document to validate instead of the SMPC. So they know that whatever is provided either as a document or as the composition will be validated.
Thank you. We are submitting splitting of medicinal product full names as per IDMP guidelines, like delimiter part, etc. However, EMA is validating as per XEVMPD guidelines. What is the corrective action we should follow?
You need to follow XEVMPD guidelines to submit to XEVMPD. So in XEVMPD, it's clearly stated that you have different name parts that should be reflected, and therefore you need to follow the XEVMPD business rules. Whenever we move from XEVMPD to PMS, then we might follow different rules for the name parts, but until then, XEVMPD business rules are the ones that should be followed.
Thank you. We never created PRD in XEVMPD for pack sizes or private labels that have never been marketed or will not be in the future regarding our products. Approved in marketing authorization applications, non-critical, non-caps. Will this be a problem for the migration to PMS?
So it's not a problem of the migration, but XEVMPD is quite clear with this. Authorized medicinal products should be submitted. And in some countries, if the marketing authorization number is granted at pack size level, all authorized pack sizes should be submitted. It doesn't matter if they are marketed or not. As long as they are authorized, they should be submitted. So I would suggest you to check chapter 3.2. The information is there. So it depends on the country. If the MA number is granted at product level, then you just need to submit one EV code if this product doesn't belong to the union list of critical medicines. But yeah, review it, because that thing of marketed, not marketed is not really relevant for XEVMPD.
Thank you. We had several entries submitted in November 2025 where substance data was validated according to SMPC and not 32P1, although both were appended.
So first of all, there is a process. You can open a ticket for the XEVMPD team, where you can say that you don't agree with the validation that they have performed, and they will review it. And internally, we will make sure that they are using the module 3 that is attached. But it's weird that this happened because, I mean, they had real, I mean, they have clear instructions on what they need to do. So we will make sure that this is not changed again. I would also like make sure that you follow also the business rules that we have indicated. So if you submit the composition as in module 3, is the full composition, not only the active substance or something like this. Is either full composition is following the SMPC or module 3, but not a mix. So also just take this into account. But otherwise, as I said, you can open a ticket and say, hey, I don't agree with the validation that you have performed. Please validate following the 32P1 that is attached.
Thank you. New PSMF entry for UK, where can we submit this? And how long can we have the EUEV code?
Oh, if by UK you mean only United Kingdom, not United Kingdom, Northern Ireland, then you can naturally submit a PSMFL information related to the location of the pharmacovigilance system master file only in the UK by using the operation tab insert and a new master file location. However, if you are submitting product information for products with a marketing authorization approved in the territory of the Northern Ireland, these products must comply with EU rules. That means that the PSMFL must be located in the EU or where the EU QPPV is located. So please have a look at our FAQ document, which we have published on the guidance document webpage, which will provide you further information on what is expected to be entered in the XEVMPD in terms of products in Northern Ireland and in the rest of the UK, and what are the conditions of establishment requirements for the QPPV and for the PSMFL.
Thank you. If I understand correctly, we do not have to submit all pack sizes if the marketing authorization number is assigned per product, right?
Okay, I'll share the screen because you know you like sometimes these things. So in chapter 3.2, I hope you can see my screen now. Page 197, you have this diagram that explains which pack sizes you need to submit. And I think it's clearly stated. So you have a new authorized medicinal product. If the answer is yes, then is it a cap? If it's a cap, you need to submit all authorized pack sizes. If it's not a cap, so you have an MRP, DCP, or a national product approved as a new authorized medicinal product, then the question is it authorized at pack size level? So the marketing authorization is granted at pack size level. If the answer is yes, then you need to submit all the pack sizes. If the authorization is granted at medicinal product, then you have a question if it's a product that belongs to the union list of critical medicines. If it's yes, then you need to submit all the pack sizes. If it's not under the union list of critical medicines, then the submission of the pack sizes is optional for the moment, but you need to do it by 2027. And the same for products that are already authorized. You have this decision here by when you need to submit all the pack sizes if the marketing authorization is granted at pack size level or at medicinal product level. So I recommend you to come here, chapter 3.2 of XEVMPD, page 197, and you have this decision tree that you can follow. So I hope that helps.
Thank you. I will reshare. Okay. When the requirement for full product name in XEVMPD versus IGMP will be aligned in the guidelines?
I don't understand this question. I need a bit of, I mean, if you can explain what do you mean by this, because for full product name, the business rules are the same in XEVMPD and in IDMP. What we call the full product name is the name as authorized in the SMPC, and that will not change, and we don't need to align anything. So unless I don't understand the question, that would be the answer.
Okay. One of our product is centrally authorized product. And after January 2025, the same product has been authorized in the UK-wide, and was issued PLGB license. Do we need to submit a separate XI entity for this referring procedure as nationally authorized product, along with 4 AMPs?
So the centrally approved product information will be in the XEVMPD entered with the centrally approved procedure 4 times, so for EU, Iceland, Norway, and Liechtenstein. And if the same product has also been approved for the territory of Northern Ireland under the national UK procedure, then you should also insert the product information in the XEVMPD reference in national as a national product, so reference in nationally approved procedure, and the country of authorization should indeed be XI, so Northern Ireland.
Thank you. We already updated our entire portfolio as per IDMP guidelines for splitting of medicinal product full names like included device part, etc. Now we need to update the entire portfolio again as per XEVMPD guidelines, or raise EMA ticket to inform about this change.
So, to be honest, I don't know how you have updated XEVMPD following IDMP, because those name parts are not in XEVMPD. So can you please open a ticket and explain there what you have done so we can assess the impact? And yeah, please include some examples of EV codes and the changes that you have done so we can assess it.
Okay, thank you. Full product name in XEVMPD include the trademark. In IDMP, no.
So
Correct.
yeah, and that's a discussion also with the NCAs, but as Veronica said, that's correct.
Thank you. The address of our company under organization information in the organization list in EV Web is not correct. Should this be updated via OMS or via ServiceNow?
So you should, if you're not the owner, I'll start differently. If you are the owner of that organization entity in XEVMPD, then you should go and perform an update of the information within this organization entity. If you are not the owner, for example, if the MAH entity was submitted for your organization by your service provider, which could be another company, for example, a headquarter, and therefore you cannot perform the update of this entity, feel free to submit a ticket through the EMA service desk and request for us to look into this and update the information if necessary.
Thank you. Full product name in XEVMPD include the trademark. In IDMP, no. I understand it is not a priority as full name in PMS comes from EV, but this alignment is pending for 2 years.
Yeah, you understand correctly. It's not a priority for the moment. We have other priorities, and then we will focus on this.
Thank you. Are there plans to prevent the integration of such not valid records or to implement measures ensuring they are not marked as valid in PMS? As valid in PMS, falsely pulling information of valid pack description of other pack sizes.
So I think I've explained this. This morning we had the PMS Q&A, and I explained this part on changes being propagated to PMS. So we are investigating this, and hopefully, beginning of next quarter, we will have this solved. So that shouldn't be any problem anymore.
Thank you. Master file location. Can we perform bulk updates? If so, how?
So I presume by this you mean, can we update our product to reference a new master file location entity using the bulk update tool? If this is not the question, please submit a new, clearer question. Yes, indeed, you can use the bulk update tool to update multiple products with valid marketing authorization status. And these products might not be nullified, or they must not be nullified, by referencing the PSMFL EV code of the PSMFL that you wish to reference in that product, and then generating the updated XEVPRM, retrieving it in the user interface and submitting this XEVPRM with the bulk update.
Thank you. Would it be better if EMA delete nullified product EV codes? As those created erroneously, that will also solve issues related to PMS migration.
So no, because one of the principles of data management is that we don't delete anything. That's why we have the status nullified. So whatever went into the database stays there, but we change the status and we put it nullified. That's also maybe for your information, and that is explained in the PMS guidances. We did not migrate with the initial migration nullified records. Now, after the initial migration that happened April last year, if you have nullified EV codes, then this status has also been propagated to PMS. But this is just because these are the principles of data management. We cannot remove things from the database.
Thank you. How the MAH from UK and its products should be submitted in the XEVMPD if the authorized procedure is national, territory UK, and Windsor Framework Category 2? Will it be authorization procedure, EU authorization national, country code XI?
So it is our understanding that Category 2 products are approved by the MHRA in accordance with the UK law and the applicable EU law on UK-wide basis. So if the medicinal product is authorized under the EU law, then you need to reference the EU national authorization procedure in your product entry, and the country code must be XI. If it is authorized by the MHRA under the UK law, then the country code should be GB, and the authorization procedure should be non-EU procedure. You can have a look at the FAQ documentation we have, and also in chapter 3.2, where you have a fairly clear information provided.
Thank you. If EMA nullified an entry not requested by MAH directly via XEVMPD, is there any trail if there is no acknowledgement sent by EMA?
So I presume that here you mean a product entry. I'm not sure if it's an authorized medicinal product entry or DMP product entry. Nevertheless, we do not nullify product entries without a prior request from the MAH. If we do make such nullification, we do have the acknowledgement. We can also see who was the sender who submitted such nullification. So if you have a specific product EV code in mind, please contact us through the EMA service desk, reference the product EV code, and we will be able to check when the product was nullified and by whom.
Thank you. We don't have manufacturers in XEVMPD. Should we complete manufacturers directly in PMS before June 2026 for non-caps and non-critical products?
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you. When EV Web does not require support of ActiveX will be rolled out?
So the new XEVMPD user interface, which we're currently working on, is planned to go live in Q1 2026. It is correct that you will not need ActiveX to use this new user interface, as it is a web browser-based solution. So we will announce the exact date during the Sport Update webinar, which, if I remember correctly, is on the 28th of January, Katerina? I think it's on the 28th of January.
Yes.
So we will be
the next
announcing
webinar
the
is
exact date.
28th of January.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you. How can we delete an already validated indication for a product in XEVMPD, background? This is to align indications for products with the same SMPC, which are different in XEVMPD.
Well, you can always update a product in XEVMPD by sending an update and aligning the indications to the SMPC. It's just sending an update to your EV code. Ideally, if you have multiple EV codes that belong to the same product, so you have different pack sizes, for example, different EV codes for different pack sizes, you should update all of them, so all of them reflect the same information.
Thank you. APIs are declared in XEVMPD. According to the SMS list, some need to be changed in their name. Should we update the name only in XEVMPD, or should we also update it in the SMPC and in XEVMPD?
Okay, important. You don't change anything in the SMPC unless you have a variation for this. So no changes on the SMPC are needed unless your NCA requires that or you have a variation to do this. Now, in SMS, and that I don't really understand the question here. So in XEVMPD, you can select the substances in different languages, and some of the substances are linked to the same SMS ID or the same SMS substance. So I don't understand why you need to change their name. So I think I would need more information, unless Veronica, you have more information about this.
No, I'm sorry. Can you provide some further information?
But please don't make changes to the SMPC, as I said, unless you have a variation for this or the NCA has requested that.
Thank you. The SC Health Authority do not issue separate NPL IDs for pack sizes under the same marketing authorization number with interchangeable primary package materials. In such case, where the level of the NPL pack ID is blister only and not down to the level of the materials.
Okay, I need to read this again. So I understand that the Swedish NCA provides the authorization at a different level, and therefore they consider a pack size maybe something different than in another country. Then you need to submit your data as, following the granularity of what the NCA is considering a pack size. Take into account that the idea is that NCAs can map the pack sizes that we have in XEVMPD with the data that they have in their databases. And also we know how many different pack sizes there are in the market or are authorized. So if they follow a different approach, I know that Belgium also authorized the pack sizes in a different way. You need to follow this approach. And if you have doubts, then you need to contact the NCA and ask them, okay, how this product has been authorized, how many presentations do I have? Even though I think the marketing authorization holder should know this information, but in case of doubts, you can always contact the NCA.
Thank you. If both active substance with and without salt is stated in the composition 32P1, which one do we have to choose? For example, we would align all products to the salt form where possible.
So this is explained in chapter 3.2. If you have the salt or the active moiety, but I don't remember now by heart. So I would recommend you to check chapter 3.2 because it is explained there.
Okay, thank you. How do we load by bulk the manufacturer in PMS?
Well, that's a question for PMS, but you can go to the PLM portal. There is a section there for the PMS guidances, and you have the step-by-step guidance on how to use the bulk update or the bulk enrichment. And there you see how you can provide the same manufacturers for multiple products, etc. Go to the PLM portal and check the information there.
Thank you. Can we follow IDMP guidelines like chapter 8 examples to update presentation and strength different patterns mentioned in XEVMPD, or we need to wait for EMA updates?
You need to wait for EMA updates. So we've made some changes in XEVMPD on, for example, the transfer process or the fact that you need to submit the pack sizes to be a bit more compliant with PMS, and also because we have systems that require this information. But we are not changing, let's say, the business rules on how the data should be submitted. You still need to submit the EV codes with the composition, with indications, etc. Don't follow IDMP rules if they are not stated in the XEVMPD guidance. At some point when we decommission XEVMPD, then we might change some rules and you can follow IDMP. But I mean, don't send substances that you don't have in your SMPC or in module 3 just because they will be required in IDMP, because the validation team will remove those substances, for example. So follow the XEVMPD guidelines when you submit data to XEVMPD.
Okay, thank you. In Luxembourg, for some variations, NCA don't issue any approval. The only evidence we receive is an automatic reply without confirmation that a human has read the notification. What would be the day zero for XEVMPD in this case?
Okay, wait, sorry. Okay, yeah, Veronica.
I was going to say, so if the NCA, the general rule for a nationally approved product is that if the NCA provides an approval letter, that the 30-day calendar day timeline starts after the MAH receives the approval letter. If the NCA do not provide the approval letter, then we are aware that the variation is considered, or according to the variation legislation, the variation is considered approved 30 days after submission. And for that reason, marketing authorization holders will have 30 days to update the XEVMPD after the 30 calendar days since the submission have passed. We will be doing an FAQ article on this in ServiceNow in the upcoming days. So you can when you go to ServiceNow and you go to the search panel, you will be able to find information related to the variations and when the 30 calendar day timeline starts in there.
Thank you. Is there a possibility to include product and substance names, pharmaceutical forms, etc., in the acknowledgement XMLs? It is very hard to look up all the products concerned and which amendments have been performed.
So no, there is no plan to update the way we are sending the third acknowledgement. The idea is to decommission XEVMPD, and the idea is to not replicate the same way in PMS. So unfortunately, we are not going to make any change on these acknowledgements.
If I can just add some information. So the XML file works on codified information. If you uploaded that XML file in the XEVMPD user interface, you will be able to see the textual representation under these codes. Also, as a user from a marketing authorization holder company, you can go into the XEVMPD user interface and use the compare functionality to see the changes that were performed to your products. So maybe that's also a way to go if you don't want to go and then search for individual EV codes or XEVMPD codes to actually see the textual presentation of the entity.
Okay, thank you. So this is a
Katerina,
case.
I will read this for you because there has a lot of. It's a bit. I'll read it for you. Sorry. Okay. So you have a product that was transferred from a different holder, and they never submitted the records for Iceland, Liechtenstein, Norway. So you don't have this historical data in XEVMPD. So in chapter 3.2, it is already explained what you need to do if the previous MA holder didn't submit the records. So you just need to submit them as valid because you are not able to refer to any previous EV code. And you just need to enter the information, with the authorization status valid and without making reference to any previous EV code. And that would be the way. You have all the information in chapter 3.2 on the transfers section.
Thank you. Which fields are checked for the validation of a QPPV data? Organization and QPPV code, or organization ID and QPPV code?
I'm not entirely sure if I will answer correctly. However, the EMA does not check the QPPV data as such. The MAH references in the AMP entity the QPPV code of the QPPV assigned either at the headquarter level of that organization in EudraVigilance, or, for example, of additional QPPV, which is assigned at the level of an affiliate. National competent authorities will be checking the QPPV information based on the information in which this is linked. So on the AMP, the National Competent Authority user will go into a dedicated dashboard in the EudraVigilance data analysis system, and they will see who is the QPPV reference in the product. And based, again, on the QPPV code, they will see to which organization that QPPV is linked, because it is linked to the EV registration of that organization.
Okay, thank you. There are discrepancies between XEVMPD data and PMS data. When does synchronization take place?
So this is what we call the deltas between XEVMPD and PMS. And how it works is every time there is EVPRM message submitted to XEVMPD, so every time there is an update submitted to XEVMPD, this message is, we put it in a queue, and we process those messages as they come. So if in an hour we have 1,000 updates, then we have a queue of 1,000 records, and we take those updates as with the capacity that we have. So it's almost real time between XEVMPD and PMS, unless sometimes we have some peaks, and therefore it's not real time. But yeah, that's the frequency. Now, as we have a known issue on PMS, some of these updates are not have not been taken. And also, if you see the FAQ document in PMS, we had a bug that we fixed where some of the updates were not taken. But this was only when the updates were submitted through the gateway, and the MA holder was submitting the same message name for all the updates. So there was a bug on XEVMPD, but that has been fixed. So in case you don't see some of the updates that you've done in PMS, like in the following day, then you can open a ticket and we will check why your message was not processed.
Okay, thank you. How can we manage centrally via affiliates if we will not be able to use a virtual affiliate?
I'm not entirely sure why you think you will not be able to use a virtual affiliate. To my knowledge, virtual affiliates will still be able to be registered in the Vigilance system. However, you will not be able to reference the QPPV associated with the virtual affiliate in your products. That's going to be from the end of January. I don't know if this is linked to the communication that was sent to QPPVs with regards to referencing the QPPV associated with virtual affiliate in products. However, to answer your question, to my knowledge, you should still be able to have virtual affiliates registered under the headquarter profile in the EV registration database. Thank you.
Thank you. Previous EV code, do we also provide for the new approved pack size?
No, I understand that this question means that you have a product that has been transferred. So those pack sizes, you submit them as transferred, valid transferred, and you need to provide the previous EV code. But afterwards, you have new package authorized. So these new packages should have the authorization status valid, and they should not reflect any previous EV code because these are new authorized pack sizes. So yeah, authorization status valid and no previous EV code for them.
Okay. Thank you. Marketing authorization number. Where should be followed the data submitted versus what is specified on SPC? As some cases, the SPC has a dot or character between the digit, which it should not.
So in theory, you should follow whatever you have in the SMPC, or if the MA number is not in the SMPC, then in the letter of authorization. Because this is the only way we have to validate this data. Now, for next year, we want to contact the NCAs and ask them if they have any pattern on the MA numbers. So that is something that we will be able to implement in order to better validate the MA numbers. But for the moment, you need to follow whatever is in the SMPC because it's the source of data that we have to validate and to verify that this is correct.
Thank you. If I manage centrally the XEVMPD submission, I used the QPPV code associated to the virtual for all the affiliates. How will I do after January 2026?
So if your product in the XEVMPD currently references the QPPV code associated with the virtual affiliate, after January 2026, when you perform an update, for example, of your authorized medicinal product, you will receive a negative acknowledgement which states that you should not reference this QPPV code, i.e. the QPPV code associated with the virtual affiliate, in the medicinal product entry, and you will either have to reference the QPPV code of the QPPV associated with the headquarter profile or with a regular affiliate profile. So the virtual affiliate is a copy of the headquarter profile. Therefore, the QPPV details are the same. However, a different QPPV code is created. So what you need to do, you need to access your product data in the XEVMPD, and you need to perform an update to reference the QPPV code that is associated with the headquarter organization or with the regular affiliate organization. If you need assistance with this or further information, do log a service desk ticket and we will provide you with a step-by-step how this can be achieved. You can also provide us with the organization name, the QPPV codes, etc., and we will tell you how you can do the update and what you should do. Thank you.
Thank you. The company has headquarters, virtual affiliate, and local affiliate registered. What is the use for a local affiliate, and why can we only send XEVPRM via local affiliate and not the headquarter access?
So the reason why virtual affiliates are created in the EV registration system is, for example, to allow users to access the data in the XEVMPD using a different submission mode. So, for example, a headquarter is registered in the EudraVigilance registration database as a gateway provider, but that headquarter also wants to have users that access the XEVMPD data using the user interface. For this reason, a virtual affiliate profile is created. The users will be registered either for the headquarter or for the virtual affiliate, or indeed, if you do have a regular affiliate, also for the affiliate. When you are then logging on to the user interface, you should be able to select under which organization ID you are logging into the user interface. So if you want to have access through the headquarter profile, you need to be registered as a user for that headquarter profile. If you accessing it through the virtual affiliate profile, that you must be registered as a user for that virtual affiliate profile.
Okay. Thank you. Can a virtual affiliate be changed to a regular affiliate of a headquarter by QPPV, or do we need to open the service desk ticket?
Unfortunately, I am not able to answer this question because this is registered to how the organization is registered in EudraVigilance. So I would encourage you to open a service desk ticket for the EudraVigilance registration team, and our colleagues will be able to advise you.
Thanks. Okay. Thank you. Meanwhile, just for your information, I've launched the usual feedback survey on Slido, just to for you to leave your feedback on this session, just a simple rating question to let us know how useful it was in answering your XEVMPD questions. And you also have a space to leave any comment in open text. Thank you. Next question. How should QPPV codes linked to a virtual affiliate be transferred to headquarter as per request sent out on 13th of November? It is not clear from chapter 3.2 or step-by-step guide.
So you should not be transferring the QPPV code of the virtual affiliate to a headquarter. It is already linked to the headquarter because virtual affiliates must be registered under the headquarters. If you have a QPPV and it's the same person, that QPPV is registered as the main EU QPPV at the headquarter level. So you have, for example, QPPV code 1 associated with that particular profile. If you have a regular affiliate registered under the same headquarter and the same QPPV is also registered as additional QPPV, you will have QPPV code 2 associated with the profile. And when you create a virtual affiliate under the same headquarter, again, with the same QPPV, you will have a QPPV code 3 created for that virtual affiliate profile. So if you have if you have referenced in your authorized medicinal product entries the QPPV code associated with the virtual affiliate, then you need to perform a regular update of your authorized medicinal product entries. So you retrieve the product code in the XEVMPD, you click on update, providing that you are EVWeb users, and you will just select the different QPPV code or different the QPPV associated with the headquarter or with the affiliate in the QPPV lookup field, and just perform an update of that authorized medicinal product entity. It's just a standard process on updating a product information.
Thank you. Will there going to be elaborate guidelines in the future regarding the update of presentation and constraint as mentioned in Chapter 8, like pattern 2A, where both are mandatory? Are these patterns not clear even though examples are these patterns are not clear even though examples are present?
Yeah, I assume we will elaborate guidelines on this. Also, just for your information, with the SMEs, we are going to have a workshop related to Chapter 8. So there might be also updates and new examples and new things coming on Chapter 8. So just keep attention there. But yeah, for sure, whenever we move to PMS, we will have guidelines and we will explain how all this information should be captured.
Thank you. So is it correct that if I change the QPPV code with the affiliates ones, but remaining with a virtual affiliate?
I'm really sorry, I do not understand this question. Can you clarify a little bit? Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Following previous question about substance name change, to be more precise, for example, diluted hydrochloric acid replaces hydrochloric acid 10% following SMS. Does this change have to be reflected only in XEVMPD or both SMPC and XEVMPD?
Okay, so in the SMPC, you still need to have whatever the NCA approved, which I would assume is diluted hydrochloric acid. So you need to keep this, you don't need to make changes. In XEVMPD, as far as I know, you will still have the same substance. So you need to still keep this information. Now, for example, in PMS, then this substance will be reflected as hydrochloric acid 10% because it's the name that we have in SMS. And this is how the mappings between SMS and in PMS works. So I think we need to discuss with the SMS colleagues if there's any action needed for marketing authorization holders or on our side or the validation team or something. But I'm not able to really give you a complete answer. But for sure, don't change SMPCs, don't change anything. I'll discuss this with Pedro from SMS and we can give some feedback if needed.
Thank you. Thank you about the information for virtual affiliate. But what about the legal affiliate, not local affiliate?
So standard legal affiliates are registered as affiliates under the headquarter profile, and these affiliates can have something that we call the additional QPPV. So this would be a QPPV that is not the EU QPPV, but it's a QPPV at national level. So it is perfectly fine to reference in the applicable product the QPPV associated with the legal affiliate, so not a virtual affiliate, but with a legal affiliate in your products. if it is not applicable for your product to reference the EU QPPV, which is registered at the headquarter level.
Thank you. After January, I will need to submit and use a virtual affiliate. Can I only change the QPPV code even if it is linked to the local affiliate?
So if I understand correctly, after January, you will have to create a virtual affiliate profile under your headquarter organization. And because of the way the Udrovision system works, there will need to be a QPPV associated with that virtual affiliate profile, which means that the system will automatically generate a new QPPV code for the QPPV that is already referenced as the headquarter QPPV for the virtual affiliate. So what you need to do in your product, you will have to reference only the QPPV registered at the headquarter level, or if you have a regular affiliate. You will not be able to see after January, or indeed reference the QPPV code associated with the virtual affiliate that you create in your product entries.
Okay, thank you. XEVPRM submitted through Gateway. Where do we check the product data message submitted? Is it in EVWeb or PMS?
So you can do it in EVWeb. You should be able to do it also in your system, because if you are a gateway submitter, that means that you're using a kind of a software to submit to XEVMPD. So these are the two places where you can find the message that you have submitted, but not in PMS. In PMS, we are not storing the XEVPRM that we are receiving, at least not that you can access it. So it's either EVWeb or the system that you are using to submit the data.
Yeah. Thank you. So our time is almost over for today, unless there's a last minute question. Meanwhile, just to remind you that the feedback survey is open for you to leave us your feedback, either by simply rate the usefulness of this session from 1 to 10. But in case you have any suggestions for improvement or you want to leave us any comment, you also have an open text box. Thank you. Okay, so I don't see any further questions. So I guess that we can wrap up for today. So as mentioned at the beginning of this session, for this year, we have one last appointment for Q&A clinics, 15th of December for SOR, 18th of December in the morning for PMS, in the afternoon for XEVMPD. And stay tuned, because we will soon release the dates for the first 5 months of 2026. So the cadence will remain monthly. And also remember, if you're interested, to register to the SPOR and XEVMPD status update webinar taking place on the 28th of January 2026. Thank you very much, Veronica and Marcos, for replying to all the questions. And have a nice afternoon, everyone.